Hello my lovelies, welcome to your Psychic Sand Oracle for all of the Earth signs for the month of March. I've started doing these sand readings quite a few years ago, but I thought, well, let's change things up a little bit and not just have some cards. So I have a little mini Zen garden with sand in it, and I shall do some doodlings in it for you. And there are various other things we're going to add to the oracle. We have pebbles from the beach, shells from the beach, some letters from the alphabet, and also a secret tray. So there's a little tray with lots of little objects on it. And I should choose probably half a dozen, and we'll see what messages want to be shared with you guys for the month of March. So with the earth energy, so that'll be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. It's looking how things are changing for you, how you can move out of sort of stuckness, how you can start to embrace the new energies as we're moving towards spring now. And there's only a few weeks to go, so it's you may be getting feeling in your bones of wanting to do some spring cleaning, to declutter, to chuck out some things. And it won't just be old clothes or old belongings. It could be a change up in your relationships, perhaps where you're working, perhaps where you're living, because there's a huge influx of light coming onto the planet. There is a solar flash, which is predicted, and I myself have had a strong sense of something huge happening in March. I know of other things happening in April, which are going to shock a few people's socks off, energetically speaking. So there's an awakening energy embracing us at the moment, and it's starting to ramp up. So you may find that a lot of things in your life just don't suit you anymore. You may find yourself fidgety. You can't settle, you are out of sorts, your bodies might be having certain aches and pains or strange sensations, and this is all due to what is termed the ascension energies, which basically means raising of consciousness. So humanity lifting their resonance, their vibration to a much higher level, where we can become aware of things as yet unseen. Also with this raising of our consciousness and our energy, it's changing our bodily structures, so our immune system's improving, our heart coherence improving. For some people it's a complete physical reprogramming, starting again with a brand new body. We know that our cells regenerate, and over a 7-year period we are in a completely new body, but the energies that are coming in won't take that long, won't take 7 years. It can be instant. And so you may find, as I said, that there are atmospheres, energies around you, a feeling of being uncomfortable in what used to be very familiar, comfortable surroundings. And you can't put your finger on it, you just don't know why this is happening to you, and you may not have others as, feeling the same. So you may feel like if I set a fish out of water, that's more the water element. So applying it to the earth energies, well, here I have a bit of tree, and it was washed up on the shore here in Devon, and it's been beautifully buffeted by the waves and the ocean and the pebbles to find this incredible shape. So I'm going to be using this within the oracle, and it looks to me like a nice little daybed, a chaise longue, a little sofa bed. So for some of you, it can be that you do need to rest. You do need to lay your head upon a pillow. Oh, remember that song, Andy Williams? No, it wasn't. Was it Perry Como? Lay your head upon my pillow. Let your warm and tender body close to mine. Very nice. So there's feelings of romance here as well, and you sharing this little chaise longue with somebody else. It is a day bed rather than a nighttime bed, I would say. So for some of you who are feeling absolutely exhausted, that not just in your body, but in your mind, in your whole demeanour, you might need to nap. You might need to have a daytime snooze. In this system, also perhaps about daydreaming. You know, when we're just sitting there and you stare out the window and the world disappears and you find yourself in a little sort of twilight zone. And that might be a very good way for you to tap into your higher aspect, or that part of you that wishes to connect with you, to bring you some comfort, some clarity, some understanding. Because as we all are going through this huge transformation, if you have no frame of reference, then it can be very disconcerting. You might think you're losing the plot. I know when I was very little, about 5 or 6 years old, I saw stuff, I heard stuff. I thought everybody else did as well, and I realised, well, no, Amanda, you're the only one in the family who does. It was very disconcerting, and I shut it down. I shut the door and said, no, go away, leave me alone. It still kept coming though. So you may find that there are occurrences happening to you. It can come in your dreams. You might have an aha moment while you're driving, while you're in the supermarket, even mid-conversation with someone. It's like they can fade out and something fades in, and you get a huge download and a huge realization of, oh my goodness, I can see you for who you truly are. I know who I am now, and it's time to change that in whatever shape or form it needs to be changed. So I shall put the camera down onto the little Zen garden, and I'm going to do a doodle, and we see what shows up with that. Hang on, what's up there? So here's the little Zen garden. It's a sandbox, and here's my little rake. So I can use it in 3 ways, with the rake bit, with the smooth bit, and with the handle. So I'm just allowing my hand to be guided. So I've asked my dudes to step in, my celestial helpers, my cosmic team, and we see all sorts of things start to emerge. Back over here. Now you may see things in this that I don't, so it'll be interesting to have your comments. There, I think that's done. So, if we zoom in, oh, there's a little mushroom there, or toadstool, and that I can see as a flashlight. And there's a face there too. There's a, looks like a female face, a very long nose. Looks rather sad, with a frown. Oh, there's our elephant friend again. So the elephant god is known as Ganesh, and he is to do with abundance. He's also the overcomer of obstacles. So you have an energy around you during March, which will be assisting you in overcoming any obstacles. Oh, here we have a book. There we are. An open book. So it feels to me like there are... Okay, I'm hearing about fine detail. Reading something very carefully, so fine detail. Looking at the small print. And as we are in Mercury retrograde at the moment, it seems significant that if there is a written document, or you're dealing with something like a contract, or something needs to be signed, then look very carefully at it before you do. And if you can delay it, that might be better for another 3 weeks or so. If it's already been in the works for a while, then the negotiation period might suit you better. So with the little mushroom here, I get the feeling of elemental energy. So the elementals, the nature spirits, the dryads, the dyads, the fairies. And as you are earth signs, it might be very good for you to get out into nature and to wander around and get grounded, put your feet on the ground. The flashlight or torch there, helping you to see things much more clearly. And it's also pointing upwards, so look to the heavens. So there might be something in the night sky that catches your eye. And talking of eyes, that the flashlight is part of the lady's face. So the sadness, the sorrow. Some of you may be experiencing grief and sadness and sorrow, but because it's over the left side of the box, it might be very old and ancient sorrows and griefs. On time to see things differently with the flashlight. This looks to me like a rib cage. So, have you been feeling restricted in any way? Can you breathe clearly? Can you move around? What's your mobility like? What's your motivation like? Has something been locked away inside of you? Because it's now time to express it. So, as I say, getting out into nature and just releasing whatever it is you've been holding on to. Do some deep breathing. Or I'm being shown Julie Andrews running up the top of the hill and singing, "The hills are alive." It doesn't matter how daft you look or feel or whatever, just express something. Don't keep it in. Now, with the Taurus rules the throat. So there may be something that needs to be said. Capricorn, that's the knees. Think of that canny little goat standing on the side of a mountain. And our knees are to do with unresolved issues. We hold them in our knees. So left knee is mother energy and any females in our lives. Right knee is father energy and any males in our lives. So if you have any issues with your knees, this can be also a very good time to get out into nature and again just let go, release, surrender all of that old stuff that's been stuck there in your knees. I see vehicles here. It looks like two vehicles. They aren't clear yet. They aren't. It's like they've got a cover over them, so it can be like a sheeting or even snow covering them. So it looks like there's a opportunity for travel, for maybe new vehicle or two, and how you can draw those things into your life. Oh, okay. For some people, it's a gift. There's a surprise coming your way. Something unexpected. Definitely upgrading vehicle-wise. And here we have a little face. In my previous video, we had Yoda show up. This feels like a smiley face, a cheerful, someone with a cheerful demeanor. It can also be an animal. As you can hear, there's one in here. Yes, that's Madam, probably wanting some lunch. She tends to come in when I've been meditating, and she likes the energy. Okay, this above the head here looks like a rope, but it doesn't feel like bondage or something being tightly tied. It's more, oh, I'm hearing the word braid. If something is braided, so it can be an adornment. It can be, like with the vehicle, something new coming in to adorn your life. Okay, and for some of you, it's not just upgrading your vehicle, your motor car, but upgrading your vehicle, your physical vehicle, and so it could be a new hairdo, new clothes, new undies. They do say if you want to have a new relationship, you buy some new undies, boys as well as girls. Oh, look, now there's a wabbit. So this says to me, Easter, spring, a very fertile time coming in for you, and definitely round your birthday times, something emerging. So if you guys see anything else in the sand, please leave me a comment. If it's something I haven't spotted, and then I can give you a reply and perhaps a little message with it. So there we have the sand reading, and now I'm going to add some other things to it. And so here we are, we have little boxes with some pebbles from the beach and some shells from the beach. So these are swan feathers, by the way. Interesting. So we'll see which shells want to join us. Oh, okay. Right. So we have a nice little mixture here. Oh, we'll put your nice sofa there. So this is a beautiful, very interesting stone I found on the beach. It has lovely blue colours in it and a big crack, but it's still in one piece. So the energy of this pebble, which has been buffeted around in the ocean, is saying that there's a time when we say no more. It is enough. I've had enough of being buffeted and thrown around and being abused. This also says to me there is a crack in it, well, more than one, a crack in it, but it's like something wants to emerge at some point. So even though you might have cracks in your life, or fissures as they're called, when the time is right, allow the crack to happen, allow it to open up, allow it to break away. Don't use all of your energy sucking in or trying to keep things together that need to be broken apart. because you can use more energy trying to hold on to things when it might be better for you just to let go. Here with the shell, we have 2 lodges. One on the left and one on the right. So the left side of us is our feminine energy and the right side of us is our masculine energy. And it feels like some of you might have been dominated by a male person around you, which is this one. And because it's on the right, which is about the future moving forward, it feels like maybe someone's been very controlling, very perhaps jealous, wanting to prevent you from doing what you feel you really need to do, what you came here to do. I also get the sense that someone around you might be very sarcastic, very judgmental, very critical. And that's because they see how brilliant you are, but they don't recognize the same within themselves, so they have to put you down. Now this is firmly attached. This is absolutely firmly attached to the shell, as is this one. But my sense of this little one here, is you as a child. So these are your childhood dreams, your wishes, your goals, your desires, who you wanted to be, who you wish to become. But you're keeping it in the past. It's remained a dream. It hasn't been made manifest yet because of this dominant energy. And you got so used to this controlling person, dominant person, that you've allowed your dreams just to remain in the past and keep them small. But that's changing. That's about to change. So as I said with the physio, the crack in the rock there, this one I love because this showed up in the previous reading I did for the new moon in Pisces. You might like to check that out. This is whales and dolphins. Whales and dolphins. So you can see movement in this pebble. It's some pointing upwards, some pointing downwards. This feeling of, yes, it can be Pisces energies, the 2 fish swimming in opposite directions, and then we're moving out of that into Aries energy during March. But the energies of the whales and the dolphins is to do with what we call the Akashic records. And they are records of energy of every single thing that has ever happened, is happening, and will happen. And we can tap into these records. We can investigate our previous lifetimes, other people's previous lifetimes, and also the timelines we have running simultaneously, because we are multi-dimensional beings. You might see other animals in here. But this is the deep wisdom of the ocean. And they say memory has water. So if you wish to become more aware of your innate wisdom, drink a glass of water, but set an intention before you do so. And as you drink it, that wisdom is released into you. You might start to see pictures or programs about whales and dolphins, or hear about something in the news about them. And that will be a strong indication that you're on the right track. So this little one, ooh, that looks, this may sound bonkers, but that looks to me like star vehicles, so spacecraft. You linking in with your space family, your family of origin, whichever constellation you originated from. And it's coming closer and closer to Earth. So you may see shapes in the clouds and think, oh, that looks like a spacecraft. So there's a lot opening up for you guys to do with ancient wisdom, to do with your inner knowingness, moving you out of comfort zones for some of you, if you've only ever thought of this stuff as in the movies or fairy tales. Something is awakening within you and wants to be shared with you. So with this one here, that's travel. That's travel. So it's been above the clouds in an aeroplane, and those are islands. So it's looking down onto a group of islands, but this is from space. So the travel can be, yes, physical. You get in a plane and go somewhere, but this is also space travel. So here we have the spacecraft, and this is you within the spacecraft looking down onto this onto land, onto the ocean, through the clouds. So you may find in your sleeping state that you whiz off somewhere in a galactic craft where you visit lots of other dimensions, other planets, parallel universes. If you look up the story of Ezekiel in the old Bible, he had an amazing adventure, Chariots of Fire, where he was taken off in a spacecraft, and he was gone for a very long time, like 300 years. And when he came back, he was still exactly the same age. So this is time travel. It's being able to move from one existence into another. But not in a scary sense. You are meeting up with your space family, your guides. Ooh, having a ball, having a ride. Ooh. Oh, right. So the first thing I saw with this one, it's a bit like a shark's mouth. open. Then it turned into a bird flying. So just for you to be aware as you're opening up to this new way of looking at life, there might be people around you who are spiteful, who are again want to knock you down, like with this one here. So it's being discerning with who you share your insights with, knowing what it feels like to be ridiculed and humiliated by others. On my extraordinary journey through life, I learned to clamp down, keep my trap shut, not share everything with people. There are those you can share with and who will be happy and open and willing and joyful to listen to what you have to say. But as I say, there may be others who are not so generous. So if you feel it's time to take flight, to spread your wings. Oh, and also sometimes when we are waking up to things, we have to test our wings. So you may have found or find that your shoulder blades ache. And that's where our wings are attached. So you may have this achy feeling thing. Why does that hurt? Why does that ache? So during your sleep state or meditative state, you're flexing your muscles, you're flexing your wings, ready to take off. That looks like a paw mark to me. Like a great big bear's paw. So the bear energy is about hibernation. Sometimes when we have to withdraw and take ourselves to a place where we can rest and recuperate and lick our wounds. But the bear wakes up in the spring, so whatever you have withdrawn from recently or feel the need at the moment to withdraw from, and just to catch your breath, as the thaw comes, you can start to make your mark. That's what I'm hearing. Make your mark, take strides. Use that energy that was depleted and that you've rejuvenated now, and put it into something new, because the bear also likes honey. So there's a sweetness that's been lacking in your life, and that's what's coming in for you. So with these last few seashells, this one is an oyster shell. So those things that have been irritating you inside for a long, long time, that can burst open now, and the beautiful pearls of wisdom, that inner knowingness, very ancient wisdom, is rising to the surface. I feel with this shell here, for some of you, it's about giving birth to something new. So it could be babies, it could be a new business, new ideas. Also, it's moving house. It feels like packing up, taking off, decluttering, downsizing, getting rid of everything that's familiar and starting somewhere new. For some of you, it's a completely different country. It's unfamiliar territory, but very, very exciting. So this I see like a fan. So you're opening up, whereas things have been tightly closed down for a long time for some of you. So it can be that there's an exotic taste or flavour to where you are headed. So it could be Latin based. So it could be Spain, it could be Argentina. But anywhere where there is, oh, I'm hearing the word flamboyant. So with this earth energy, as we move through March, it feels like it's been a long, hard slog for a lot of you, where maybe you've looked after others for a long time. For some of you, it could be looking after elderly parents or someone who's infirm. You might have been a carer. And so you've put your life on hold for a very long time. Or you've been in a role or a job for a very long time. And because of duty, you stayed with it, even though it wasn't your cup of tea. And for a lot of you, it might be retirement time. And you're counting down, you're counting the days to when you can just close that door and walk away. Say, right, I've done my 30 years or however long. Now it's my time. So when I said about the face of the lady in the sand and the sadness and the grief, you don't need to carry that with you anymore. It's like you've been grieving for something that hasn't actually died, but now it has. So there's a sense of celebration. Opening up to new ways of looking at life, not allowing someone to control you or this feels like someone who has been the victim and used their illness or condition to control not just you but the others around you. And now that's ended, that's gone, that's finished. So you being released from a soul contract in a way, something you agreed to before you got here. But now that contract's over, it's completed, it's finished. Bye-bye, baby. So now we come to the tray with all the objects on, and they're hidden by a cloth. So I'm going to choose probably 6 objects. Stuff all over the place. stand him up because you can't see him in there. A plug. One more. Ooh, there we are. Keys. So we have a timer. We have a sweetie or a candy. We have an angel. We have a knot, a plug, and a key. And of course your sofa. So this is very significant, as I said just earlier on, about counting down. And it's sand again. So the sands of time, that looking at the timelines we've been living and how you can step into a new one, so you don't have to complete the timeline that you thought you were contracted to, because that's finished, that's over. No more of that programming. Look at that, see? Whoa. Yay! Contract over. The contract is over, my darlings. No need to renew it, because there's a sweeter time coming. It's time for, like I said with the bear and the honey, you haven't had some sweetness in your life for a very long time. I feel that this is a lemon sherbet. I feel someone's been very sour around you. It's like they're sour words, sour thoughts, sour projections of their stuff. They couldn't find happiness in their own life, so they had to make everybody else miserable. And as I said, for some of you, it feels like this has been going on a very long time. It's ancient, old family patterns. And you may find that certain other members of your family are holding that pattern and are very similar to the sourpuss who I feel has departed, or that hold they have upon you is gone. Here we have an alabaster angel. This I found in Egypt. So the energy of this crystal, I suppose it is, you can see there's markings moving from the base upwards and outwards to the wings. And like I said about your shoulder blades maybe aching. So this energy is moving up from your base center up to your solar plexus and then outwards up through your whole body, electrifying your wings and the little hole there. So that's your third eye, that's your knowingness, that's your ability just to tune in. And when we tune in, we then find compassion for those around us who have been a thorn in our side, or the bane of our lives, or the sourpusses, and to realise, well, we signed up for this contract, and once you acknowledge that, then it has no hold over you, because the contract is ended. There's new beginnings, there's a new sense of self, of higher self, of being guided, of being held, moving into other things. I'm going to go to the plug because this is this is very significant because when we hold on to our emotions, and our emotions are represented by water, so we weep, we cry, we can rage, but sometimes we hold things in and we push them down and we push them down, and to push down is called depression. To depress something, we push it down because the thought of actually expressing how we are feeling is so overwhelming. But this is pull the plug, go on, pull the plug, and let the water go down the drain. So letting all of your emotions drain away from you, down the plug hole. And then you can turn on the taps for some lovely, fresh, sparkling, new, effervescent waters, new emotions. For some of you, there's a new relationship. This is tying the knot. There's a little knot to tie with someone. It can also be you untying a knot from this old sourpuss, this old relationship, this old connection that you've had with someone. Now, you may have heard there was a Greek myth about something called the Gordian knot. And many people tried to undo this knot, and it was huge. It was knotted so tightly no one could get their fingers in to try and undo it. And the reward was that if someone could undo it, then they get the pretty princess. But no one could. And then some clever dick came along. He got out his sword and he just sliced it. So if your mind's been knotted up for years and years and years, and you haven't been able to untangle it or undo it, using that precision of your mind, because the swords are to do with the mind, the intellect, and how we communicate with people. You can even call on Archangel Michael because he's got a great big sword. So just to slice through all of that twisted energy of feeling knotted up, but it's somebody else's twisted mind that has knotted up yours. So then that new aspect, and the colours are significant too. So the yellow is to do with your solar plexus. So with the angel, as the energy gets to here, your solar plexus, yellow, 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 yellow. So that your solar plexus is your sunshine, it's your battery, it's your energy, it's your drive, it's your ability to move forward, get up and go. So this yellow of this knot is very significant, and the purple entwined with it. Purple is associated with your higher aspect, with your higher mind, with your soul. So bringing those two things together is a delicious new recipe for life. And then your final object, the key. So there's a lovely new opportunity coming your way. Use the key to lock the door to the past, which will never be opened again. Oh, all right. And I'm hearing about a new key being forged. So you might like to Google a chap called Hephaestus, Haiphostos, and he was one of the gods who had a forge up in the heavens, Mount Olympus, and he forged all sorts of things on behalf of the gods. So call upon the gods, or whatever gods you pray to help you to forge a lock for this key, a brand new lock for this key. A lot of this is also the key to your heart, using your heart energy. As I said, finding compassion for the old sourpuss, not dwelling on it anymore though, and being able to, oh, that's an interesting phrase. I heard pick up your bed and walk. So if somebody's been deceiving you or playing you, them being the victim and controlling you to look after them, this is saying pick up your bed and walk, because there's nothing wrong with you. This can be you pick up your bed and walk and put your bed somewhere else. Place your beautiful chaise longue wooden sofa somewhere else, because there's a space waiting for you. And so for the last section of your oracle, we're going to use some letters of the alphabet. We'll see which ones want to show up. Sometimes they form a word, or they can be the initials of someone you have yet to meet. Whoop. Okay, so we have an N. What could be a U? There's a D. I think that's actually a U. Yeah, D-U. There's an R. And we'll see if we've got some numbers. Oh, there's an 8. And an H. So with the 8, this way is a symbol of infinity, bringing heaven to earth, as we have with the angel, but also could be August. So the 8th month, something coming in for you. I get the sense that something will get triggered off this month in March, and you will see a result. I don't feel it's the complete result, but you will certainly see big changes in August, really big changes in August. So if some of you watching have a Leo moon or a Leo ascendant, that can be triggered off now, and then something major showing up in August. So we have a D and a U and an R and a H. As I say, they can be the initials of somebody you have yet to meet. It could be a place, because if there are a few more letters, that might spell Durham or Durham. So let me know in the comments if any of these resonate with you. Thank you for your comments. I really do appreciate them. It's very encouraging to hear from you guys, and to know that you're finding this interesting and a fun thing to do. So thanks for watching. If you feel drawn to, please subscribe and like, because that really helps the channel to grow, and my message is to reach those who could benefit from it. So I love you lots and lots. Until next time, lots of love. Bye.